Back on Blitz, I'm Brian Carter, joined now on the phone by CT Hussion, head baseball coach at Union County High School. Coach, thanks for your time today.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, Coach, you're kind of wrapping up the 2012 season. You got a game left on the schedule, but at this point, you're 11-10 overall, 8-9 in region play, and 8AA. Walk us through this season and your feelings on your team this year.
Well, we graduated 10 players off last year's team, and we knew we'd be pretty young in certain spots, but we had some pretty good talent off of last year's JV coming up, and so we started the season, and the kids, we had question marks in certain skill positions, catcher, first base. They came along really well. Very pleased with how they did, and our pitching staff came along. We had one young man, Daniel Coyne, that ended up 7-2 with a .65 ERA, which is really good. And really, we have two seniors this year. They're graduating and look to return 21 off of this year's squad.
Now, you had a 5-game win streak closing out the month of March, and then that was immediately followed by a 4-game losing streak to begin April, and some of those were pretty close losses. So it seems like a roller coaster kind of year in terms of results. At what point do you just sometimes throw your hands up when you have 3 one-run losses and you had 7 that you lost by 3 or less runs?
Yeah, I know. Really, I felt like our pitchers did the job. The way we have this schedule set up, we ended up playing the same team 3 times in a row. We would play a single game and then a doubleheader, and that was a critical part there. We had taken the series from East Hall, 2 games. At that point we're up 2 games to none against them, and we lost the 3rd game, the last game of the doubleheader with them. And then we went to Rabun County, and they were on spring break, so we agreed to play 1 game on Tuesday and 2 games on Wednesday. So basically 3 games in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And we lost all 3 of those games, 2-0. I think 5-4 and 4-3. So and both the doubleheader games we lost on in the very, very last inning.
Oh wow.
Going in, and that hurt pretty good. Then we had Banks County. We still had a shot to win the sub-region if we won all 3 of those games, and we took the series from them 2 games out of 3, but they ended up the sub-region chanced, and because Raven owned the tiebreaker, we lost. We ended up 3rd and had to travel to Elbert, which was a pretty tough feat.
Right. Now, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, is that your senior leadership is a bit slim. You have just the 2 veterans on board this season. How much does that play in your mind, having senior leadership on the team? How much does that play into the results on the team, wins and losses?
Well, those guys, it helps to have guys that have been there before. And even the seniors, just one of them played last year, and he actually had surgery at the beginning of the year. So, it was kind of tough. We started the season without one of the 2 seniors, and the other one had a good season, like I said earlier, on the mound for us, and did what he needed to do. But it helps to have some experience, and like I said, returning 21, next year and going into a different region, I think is going to be good for the team. Yep.
Yeah, and that's where I was going next, and this will be the last question for you, and then I'll let you go. But what's the overall forecast of this team's future? Obviously, you're bringing back a load of talent. What can we expect out of this program the next couple seasons in your perspective?
Well, our JV was the Mountain JV champions, and did a great job with that. They run-ruled Lumpkin County in the finals. Our middle school only lost 1 or 2, a couple ball games throughout the season. So there's just a ton of talent. Not to mention we returned, like I said, 7 or 8 starters with starting experience for next year. So I mean, going into that region, I think it really bodes well for the team's future, and I think the best years that we've had in a while are to come.
That's great to hear. Now, Coach Hussion, thanks again for taking time for us here on Blitz. It's always good having you on the show. Good luck moving forward, and hope to have you on here again sometime.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Coach.
Bye.
When we return, we've got some awards to hand out, the Player of the Week, and long overdue perhaps our Winter Sports Players of the Year coming up on Blitz.